Most Australians choose pet products the wrong way, and that's why their dropshipping store never gets traction. Not because the pet niche is bad, not because it's saturated, and not because Australians won't spend on their animals. It stalls because people start with products instead of starting with leverage. If you're thinking about dropshipping pet products in Australia, or you've already tried, this is the piece that usually gets missed. Because on the surface, the pet niche looks easy. People love their pets. They spend without hesitation. They buy emotionally. So beginners open a Shopify store, add all kinds of products like cat scratchers, fish tanks, and dog collars. And then they wait, only to get little or no sales, low margins, expensive ads, and returns they didn't expect. And eventually they start to believe the myth, dropshipping doesn't work in Australia. That feeling is common, and it's understandable. You're worried about wasting money. You don't trust suppliers, you're not sure what Australians actually buy online, and maybe you already failed once. That's not a motivation or intelligence issue. The real problem is that most people treat pet products like commodities, when in reality, the profitable side of the pet niche is built on emotion, convenience, and relief. Pet owners don't buy stuff, they buy solutions. Solutions to pain, to guilt, to inconvenience, to anxiety. Once you understand that, the entire niche changes. The mistake everyone makes first is selling cheap pet accessories. Low ticket, low margin, high volume. That model struggles in Australia. Ad costs are higher, shipping expectations are higher, and tolerance for mistakes is lower. A delayed order isn't just annoying, it's emotional. But when you flip the approach and focus on higher value pet products, everything becomes calmer. Fewer orders, more margin, more patience from customers, more room to make decisions without panic. That's the leverage most people never look for. Let's walk through what actually works and why. The pet niche isn't one niche. It's several micro markets stacked together, and the winners understand which problems people are already paying to remove. Take orthopedic pet beds. This isn't just a bed, it's relief for older dogs with joint pain, arthritis, or for recovery after surgery. Australian pet owners will spend without hesitation when comfort and health are involved, because this isn't indulgence, it's responsibility. That's why these beds sell in the $150 to $400 range, and still convert, not because of price, but because of positioning. When you frame it as an investment in mobility, longevity, and quality of life, suddenly margin becomes your friend. And once margin exists, bundling becomes natural. Extra covers, heated inserts, or blankets. This is how stores increase order value without chasing more traffic. Now contrast that with smart pet feeders. This category works for a different reason. It removes guilt. Busy professionals, shift workers, parents, people who travel. They're not buying a feeder, they're buying peace of mind. Never worry about your pet missing a meal. That single idea carries more weight than any feature list. Smart feeders also sit comfortably in the $100 to $400 range, which means fewer sales are needed to build revenue. And notice the pattern forming here. These products don't rely on impulse. They rely on intent. They're searched for, considered, compared. At this point, most people naturally wonder the same thing. Which products are actually working right now? Not hypothetically, not in the US, but here. That's why we quietly keep a free monthly snapshot of trending products we're seeing work in Australia. It's not something you need to act on, it's just a reference point. It's in the pinned comments and bio if you want clarity later. Let's keep going. GPS pet trackers. This is one of the strongest emotional categories in the entire pet niche. Losing a pet is every owner's nightmare, so safety sells itself. These products aren't positioned as tech, they're positioned as insurance. And Australians will pay for insurance when the fear is real, with prices between $100 and $250, plus optional subscriptions. This category supports both upfront profit and recurring revenue. Then there are automatic litter boxes. This one surprises people, because it feels so niche, until you realize how many cat owners hate scooping litter. This product removes a daily annoyance. That alone creates demand. But the real leverage is the price point. $250 and even as high as $2,700 for a single unit. That's high-ticket dropshipping territory. And because it solves a universal pain point, conversion rates are higher than you'd expect. Now let's talk about connection products like pet cameras with two-way audio and treat dispensers. These products sell on emotion, specifically guilt and reassurance. People want to check in and talk to their pets. They want to feel present even when they're not home. These devices have a price point of $150 to $490, with easy cross-sells like treats, smart feeders, and full smart pet home bundles. Now notice something important. None of these products are cheap, and that quietly addresses one of the biggest objections Australians have. People won't buy expensive items online, but they already do, every day. They just don't buy expensive things that feel unnecessary. When a product removes stress, saves time, or improves a pet's life, price becomes secondary. The next category proves this even further. High-end pet carriers for travel, airline approved, and comfort focused. Pet owners who travel are already spenders. They don't want the cheapest option. They want the safest and the best looking. This category works when you sell the lifestyle, not the bag. And bundling turns a $150 carrier into a $450 travel set. Now, let's shift into recurring revenue offers like subscription boxes. Think toys, treats, and surprise. This isn't about margin on the first box. It's about lifetime value. People don't cancel subscriptions easily, especially when their pet enjoys it. Tiered plans, seasonal themes, and add-ons. This is how small stores build predictable income. Then there's the cat furniture category. Luxury scratching posts and designer cat trees. This works because it solves two problems. Cats need to scratch, and owners don't want ugly furniture. So the product becomes decor. They have strong visual appeal and at around $200 per unit. This fits into the high ticket range, allowing you to sell less and make more. So seasonal comfort products come next. Heated mats, cooling pads. These work when timed correctly because they're not impulse items, they're comfort solutions. Great for older pets or temperature sensitive breeds. It's really health positioning more so than the mat itself. And finally, grooming kits. This is the everyday category, but it only works when positioned correctly. Grooming isn't maintenance, it's bonding. Think self-cleaning brushes and starter packs for new pet owners. The margin comes from bundles, not single items. Now, let's address the objections quietly sitting in your head. The Australian market is already saturated. Well, low-ticket pet products are saturated, solution-driven products are not. I don't know which products will sell. That's because without a framework, everything looks equal. The framework is simple. Does it solve a real problem? Does it justify margin? But I'm gonna need heaps of money to start. You need margin, not volume. High-value pet products reduce pressure. On ads, on support, on time. I've already failed before though. That wasn't failure. That was starting with the wrong product type. Once you see this, overthinking stops helping, and action becomes obvious. Here's the correct order. Pick one pet problem, not 10 products. Choose a high-value solution, not accessories. Build bundles, not a single product. Then drive intent-based traffic, not impulse ads. When you do this first, everything downstream gets easier. Ads convert cleaner. Support drops, revenue stabilizes. The pet niche isn't about loving animals, it's about understanding owners. And Australians will spend heavily when the product earns it. If you want clarity instead of guessing what products work in Australia right now, grab our free monthly trending products report. The link is in the pinned comments and bio. Grab it before you make your next move.